Tate and his team call and say, Lauren, we still like, this was in Romania at their little compound.
Yeah, but what year?
This was 2018.
2018.
The very beginning, like January, February 2018.
Okay.
And then they invite me to a club. I have 2 drinks, get completely wasted somehow, like blackout drunk. Tate brings me back to the hotel room, strangles me, assaults me. Crazy incident. I go to a hospital. I report it. I don't want to make it a big media deal. And then years later, he starts going viral online for having human trafficking, mass assault.
Now, there's another one. We need to look at this video, guys. This woman right here, she went on Piers Morgan. Former Andrew Tate staffer 𝗙𝗪 𝗪𝗏 says she quit working with Tate because he became increasingly unhinged. So, dude, this shit has been going like ape, dude.
As I said, like with any good divorce, it takes a while until you part the goods and then you figure out what you want to do. There were a few reasons. First of all, Andrew became more and more unhinged. It was very difficult. He became very difficult to counsel. I would have to do or put out press releases or put out communication in their name and on their behalf, and only to be contradicted by their tweets or things that they would put out on their socials. So it became very difficult to manage. It was very, throughout the first 2 years, the relationship was quite close and there was a lot of communication and a lot of back and forth and a lot of strategy making. That wasn't happening in the past year. So I felt that my role became quite redundant, first of all, and I felt like my place wasn't there anymore because a lot of times we had to clean a lot of the things that he would do, although he was clearly advised against doing such things. There are quite a few examples. For example, there was as I was trying to, he asked me to get him into A-list events. And while I was on the phone trying to open doors to A-list events, and that was quite difficult because lately it had become very difficult to get him into places because he was blacklisted pretty much everywhere. He tweeted, "I miss human trafficking."
Dude. What a fucking douchebag, dude. These guys tweet shit like that. "I miss human trafficking." And then they get off. They don't get in trouble. They get government help from other human traffickers. And they fucking laugh in all of our faces while they just hit the cash register. It's so gross, man. I mean, talk about wanting to like pull out the guillotines, boss.
Something that and he even said on your show that his staff deleted his tweet. It's not true. I was his staff and I did not delete anything, nor did I ever have access to his X account.
So, yeah, see, isn't that crazy? So then Andrew would delete his own tweets and then he blames his staff, right? They're all like, all of these guys are fucking sociopaths, man. And again, nobody had access to his accounts.
So that was one of the reasons why I decided to leave. The second one was quite personal. It was the fact that I realized that I had been primed to believe in his innocence. And, you know, like in any echo chamber that you spend a lot of time, my lens started to be very crooked.
See, that's damning stuff, though, that, like, you know, I mean, we've talked about this in relation to the Epstein files, how I think, like, little bit by bit, people are waking up, okay? They are. People are waking up, and we've been seeing it with Israel and with the wars, with the oppression in Gaza and the West Bank. People are waking up to this imperialism funded by America. And again, you're not going to be able to put that genie back in the bottle. That doesn't mean it's not going to be 20, 30, 50 years until like large scale change is happening. But people started to wake up during Me Too, okay? And they, you know, the Epstein shit has been going on for 30 years. And Epstein is dead, and Jean-Luc Brunel is dead, and now Tate and his brother are getting arrested. And even if something happens, if they evade for a while, man, it's going to catch up with them, okay? It's going to catch up with them because we're waking up. thing I want to talk about on this is this fucking Tate lawyer, okay? Because 𝗙𝗹𝗹𝗪𝗓, who is a congresswoman, Arizona, okay? She has reached out and started a process of wanting to subpoena Barron Trump and other people related to the Tate case because they want to know if the Trump administration is helping accused rapists and sex traffickers get freed from Romania and the UK. They want to fucking know. They do. They want to fucking know. And when we take back the House in November, they're most certainly going to subpoena all of these guys. But look at what Tate's lawyer did. This guy's basically threatening a congresswoman, saying if Andrew Tate were free, he would be dismantling this communist psychopath in real time and raising an army to unseat her for going after Barron Trump. The Tate brothers are one of the most powerful weapons the conservative movement has. Their absence is the point. Free them. Dude, what a clown, bro. Dude, Andrew Tate is not unseating anyone, dude, in Congress. Give me a fucking break. Dude, these guys are so high on their own supply. Give me a fucking break, dude. Their absence is the point. Like, what does he think? Does he think, like, Democrats have somehow taken over the Trump DOJ and are, like, getting rid of Andrew Tate because he's too powerful? Dude, he's not Charlie Kirk, you bald wannabe mafioso motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, dude. This guy, what a fucking clown, dude. Dude, I got in there. We're all voting for the cannibal. Dude, look at this, though. Even conservative people, though. Okay, Will Chamberlain is a conservative. Okay, this guy is very much a far-right conservative. Look at what he said. He said, nah. And McBride said, educated response. Well done. I'm sure you can do more. We all look forward to your ability to influence elections and inspire men so much that people clamor for your cancellation. And he said, one of your clients raped Lauren Southern, really couldn't care less about their ability to influence elections. And he was like, were you there? You saw that happen? And he said, I'm sorry, are you expecting me to have video proof of a rape accusation before I believe it? And guys, I didn't know that, okay? I did not know that. But dude, Andrew Tate, man, now this is pretty fucking controversial here. But dude, he raped Lauren Southern too, man. And that is wild. This was all the way back in 2018, dude.
And I didn't know at the time in 2018, but Tommy Robinson brought me out to meet Tate, claiming he was going to be a business investor for a kind of right-wing company we would make. And I went to it's all very convoluted, but we went and had this business meeting. It was a total disaster. Tate and his team call and say, Lauren, we'd still like, this was in Romania at their little compound.
Yeah, but what year?
This was 2018. The very beginning, like January, February 2018. Okay. And then they invite me to a club. I have 2 drinks, get completely wasted somehow, like blackout drunk. Tate brings me back to the hotel room, strangles me, assaults me. Crazy incident. I go to a hospital. I report it. I don't want to make it a big media deal. And then years later, he starts going viral online for having human trafficking, mass assault.
This was before he went viral, guys. This was back in the early, Charlie Kirk, like, conservative movement during Trump's first term, when all of these conservative Trumpian influencers started becoming these big names and shit. And she went under the guise that Tate was going to invest in her media business, and they fucking roofied her, dude. And this is before he blows up.
Rape cases, all these things. And I'm feeling guilty as hell because I know I have contemporary medical evidence and text message evidence that I could give to the courts. But I don't want to deal with the online shitstorm that's going to come from that. I'm literally the girl who built her career on, I'm not a feminist. All these women are lying, da-da-da-da-da. So I sit on this evidence for years and years and years. And eventually, after various kind of career incidents, including the Tenet media scandal, my text messages with Steven being released, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, why am I sitting here on this pile of lies that I'm telling that make me miserable? I need to just tell the truth about all of it, join the court cases, take a step back from media and get my head back in order, because I think all of this is kind of built on bullshit. But it's not even about me. Like, to me, I don't care if people are sympathetic with me. You can hate me, love me, don't care anymore. There are 40 plus women that are victims that needed my evidence, that needed my testimony out there. And
yeah, see, the thing is like, I don't absolve people from like Lauren Southern of their own toxicity and shit. And simultaneously, though, even the bad women that are toxic, even the Riley Gaines of the world, you know, the really abusive women of the world, they don't deserve to be SA'd. And certainly everyone coming forward can help end it. I mean, it's just really hard, though, because what you see is and this isn't even about Lauren Southern. I want you to see what happens to women in this conservative movement, because look what happened with her. She fucking built a identity on not being a feminist. She built an identity on being like this conservative woman. We don't believe the accusers. And then when she gets raped, she's stuck. She can't come forward. No one's going to believe her, right? You know what I mean? And like, dude, this is the trap of conservative women that just sinks all of their battleships, dude. It's like so fucking toxic. Conservative women, they get so brutalized. And guys, more than anything, let me just tell you, this is part of the reason why these like grape and abusive men pipelines run so well in the conservative religious political movement, because these women create identities that they can't report it. And the men know it. And so the men abuse these women. Man, you go to TPUSA events, women are getting graped all over the place. And they literally can't report it. They won't report it because it would ruin them politically. It would ruin their reputation. I mean, Riley Gaines, somebody talked about Riley Gaines. You know what's so funny about Riley Gaines, guys? Riley Gaines making this big deal about Leah Thomas and this trans shit. Riley Gaines, while she was in college, her swim coach at the University of Kentucky was raping her teammates, guys. The whole time she was in college, her fucking teammates were being raped. And she didn't come out of college being like an anti-rape advocate. She came out of college attacking transgender people as though they're some sort of danger to women. And it's like, no, man, there were 10 trans athletes in the NCAA, 10,000 women a year in NCAA colleges report rapes. That's the reported ones. And I'm telling you, like 90% of those are in the conservative circles. They are broken. The religious programming that they fucking endure that then turns them into these like victims for rapey, abusive men. It's like, dude, it is like a toxic circle that just completes itself. But look at this, though. She has cooperated, okay, with both cases. She's provided witness testimony in Romania and evidence to the investigators in the UK. And it includes medical records against Tate, multiple witnesses who she told back then before he was famous, right? And a report she made to local authorities. And I believe she has text messages, guys. And so good for her, man. Like, I can't stand her. I'm not going to defend her behavior, but dude, wouldn't it be just desserts if conservative women came forward and helped take this motherfucker down?
I joined the UK court case. I've already testified in the Romanian court case. My information was going to be leaked. The Tate brothers already actually just recently got pulled into court on 11 separate charges of trying to intimidate and destroy the reputations of witnesses. The second I joined those cases, there was going to be a mass campaign against me. My name was going to be all over the place, and the Tate brothers were going to be able to just slander me all over the board. So I had medical evidence from the time. Somehow I was able to predict years before they were famous that his MO was strangulation. 3 years before the Vice article came out saying that's what he did to all the other victims in the UK, it would be literally impossible for me to get a DeLorean and come back in time and decide to make up all this and make a medical report and know the MO just to sell a book that I've made barely any money off of in 2025. But I joined the UK court case.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Dude, I hope they all join. I hope they bury these fuckers, bro. These guys are so, they are so toxic. Yo, political punk here. I know, it's killing me. Seriously, guys, if you like what we do around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn those noties on. And I wouldn't be anywhere without the members. So if you want to hit the join button, we really appreciate that too. Thank you so much, guys. It's getting crazy out there, and I'm just really glad to not be going through this alone. All right? All right, keep your chin up. Let's go, boss. All right, fuck you. Bye-bye.